That's so rare for us to be late.
All right. I'd like to call the April 3rd meeting of the Sherwood Advertising and Promotions Commission meeting to order. If you'll call the roll, please.
Charlie,
Here?
Danny,
Here.
Nita,
Here.
Jeff,
Here.
Josh,
Here.
Marina.
Here. All right, we did not have a quorum at our last meeting, so therefore we're going to need to approve the minutes from both the February meeting and the March meeting. So let's do the February meeting first.
I'll move we approve the minutes from February 7th meeting.
Second.
We have a motion by Danny and a second by, who was that? Jeff, for approval of the February 7th meeting. Call the roll, please.
Charlie,
Aye.
Danny,
Aye.
Nita,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Marina.
Aye. All right, March 6th. Just those that were here can vote on those minutes. So if I have that's Nita and Josh.
I move to approve.
Second.
Okay, so that was real short. We have a motion from Nita and a second from Josh. Would you?
Do I call just them?
And me.
And you, okay.
Yes.
Nita,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Marina.
Yes. All right, so on the March 6th meeting, we just basically just went over some items. We could not vote on anything. All right, there is a new format to our meetings. We're going to have the financials at the first of the meeting. That way Debbie can just come over for a few minutes and then go back to work. So we're going to ask everybody to vacate the room right now and have Debbie come up. Debbie, does Steve need to leave or stay? Steve, you need to stay. And we will be back with everybody shortly. Got it back on. Thank you. During the financials, we did have one establishment that was 3 months past due, so we did send a letter of revocation out to that establishment. All right, so on to city happenings. Lauren, you're up.
Hi.
Hello.
So our Easter egg hunts went very well. We had our sensory one at the tennis center and our annual one at City Hall Park, and we had a lot of people attend. The next event we have is the solar eclipse, and we have our concert series, free concert, starting April 18th, and police department is putting together a fishing derby. And we have 4th of July coming up, and yes.
All right. I was at Rotary this morning, so we were, just to bring this up, we always had our 5K in conjunction with Sherwood.
Right, the 5K.
So y'all had a 5K, I know, for Sherwood Sharks.
Yes, we did. That also went very well.
Good. So we always had our 5K in conjunction with Sherwood Fest, and I mentioned that we're not doing Sherwood Fest anymore because, Mayor, you decided that you would prefer we do these different little festivals. That's correct, right? Instead of doing the big Sherwood Fest.
So I didn't know if y'all would like to do the 5K in conjunction with Winterfest that Saturday morning?
What day is that?
December 7th? It's December 7th?
I think we decided, since you decided that we're not going to do Sherwood Fest, I think we decided we still wanted to keep our event on the same day because we've built that date. It's like the date we've been used to, so I think we're going to keep it that date. But,
And you might want to look and see if, now we have 2 routes for you all to pick from.
okay,
So,
I'll get Kyle. Who should Kyle get in touch with then?
Hannah, probably?
yeah, Hannah and,
Hannah?
Yes, I will email you her contact information on her email. So you
Okay.
have that.
this route, it was more rolling hills, and you finish on a downhill versus finishing on an uphill. So it's still a challenging course, but it's not as rigorous, shall we say, as the other one.
Okay, I'll get Kyle to get in touch with Hannah, but just wanted to verify all that. Okay. So we'll be doing these little events instead of Sherwood Fest this year, and we've had the Easter egg hunt, solar eclipse, and next thing we have is the concerts. And when's the first concert, Lauren?
April 18th.
So do you want to tell us who's coming for that one? Well, I just want to make sure the people that are listening could also know it's April, because we won't be having another meeting before then. So April 18th.
Yes. Mitchell McFessel.
And it's out here at City Hall Park.
Yes, ma'am.
And what time does it start?
6 to 8? 6 to 8. And we're going to have a few food trucks out there.
And make sure, and those food trucks are registered through
Yes,
Debbie?
ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
Good deal.
In the Easter egg hunt, we had an ice cream truck out.
And the animal. We also
Really?
had the animal mobile unit come out for the
Oh, good.
Easter egg hunt. Yes.
Good. So mentioning that, the Talk of the Town is out, so if anybody wants to get a Talk of the Town, they are available online, or you can pick up a paper copy at City Hall.
At City Hall, Bill Harmon Center, or the Sherwood Library, or the Senior Center.
Okay. I think that's it for what's going on around the city right now.
Yes.
All right, thank you, Lauren, very
Thank
much.
you.
Appreciate it. Trail of Lights, I have down here Blake, Sean, and Diana, but Diana is ill today. She's got something going on for sinuses and stuff, so we're going to talk to Blake and Sean, or I guess it's just Sean, huh?
I'll take the heat.
You're going to take the heat.
Yeah.
Okay, well, first thing, I have Field of Angels down here, but I think we really need to talk about money first, don't we? Or do we need to talk about the angels first? Which one do you want to talk about first?
It don't matter to me. I just need y'all to really need a decision on the Field of Angels.
Okay, well, we got to make a decision about money too, so.
We can make that decision too. How
All
much
right.
you got? No, I'm just kidding.
Is this something you want the chief here for?
No, this is about the half projects over at the Greens.
Oh, yeah, I got that. Yeah.
So, no, I'm sorry, that actually goes under I'm
That's old
sorry. That goes under old business, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, never mind. This is just on the Angels. All right,
Yes.
let's go to Angels.
All right, so we've talked about eliminating the Field Angels, doing like one big wooden one, and then putting the little plaques for the individuals' names, in memory of, and placing it at the end of the trail, kind of by the splash pads. We have power. If people want to go up to it, they can park in the splash pad parking lot, walk over to it, it'll be lit. We're talking 10, 12 feet tall, however wide, it needs to be. So we can add the plaques, but make it something where people can actually see the names of the loved ones or, whoever it's on. Like now it's just the Field of Angels. You don't know whose is who. But make it something they can go out there and take pictures or this and that. It won't back up traffic because they can pull over in the parking lot. But we've got 4 people on the list right now trying to order Angels. So we kind of need, and the Field of Angels is really, it's shot. I've got some pictures if y'all would like to see them. It's in bad shape. So we need to do something to, whatever y'all want to do with it. I know we've talked about several different things. We're talking about one big lit one and then putting some small ones around it. And then I like the wooden angel idea. Like I said, you can actually see the people's names.
So, this is one you won't order, you'll construct.
We'll build it.
We'll build
Yeah.
it, but it'll be lit also, I assume,
Yes.
somehow. Yeah, yeah.
Paint it like gloss white, put the plaques, whatever size we decide. Has spotlights on it where people can still walk around it. We can cord off the back of it where the electric stuff is, keep them away from it.
Will the plaques be on it or on a plaque, on something in front
On
of
it,
it?
attached to it.
Okay, how big a plaque are you talking about?
And kind of leave that up to y'all. I'm envisioning something, 2 by 3, 2 by 4.
If that's 12 feet, if that's 12 feet in the air, will I be able to read it?
Well, it'll
at
be
night?
on the body, so really they won't extend over probably 6 feet high.
Okay.
So from there down.
How many people do we have now?
I think there's 98, so call it 100.
Okay, so we have 100, because plus you're gonna have 4 more,
Yeah.
so 100, 102 or whatever. How are those all gonna fit?
Well, we're talking, if we design it kind of off the angel that we have, just a bigger version, where the gown comes down, it flares out. So you'll have quite a bit of area. And I kind of think of it like the bricks on the Veterans Memorial.
Right.
They come in, when you get so many, they come in and cut them out and put more on. Well, we can just add them as we get them, which is another subject. If we do go with those, we need to figure out, what we're going to sell them for, to buy the plaque to put on there. But just add them, and then eventually if we fill it up, we add another angel. Instead of just trying to piecemeal it, we just start adding those.
I would like it to be probably a little bit bigger than what you're describing as far as the plaque, because I'm envisioning if you get a senior citizen pulling over to look at it, that they may not be able to read a little plaque like that. I'm thinking maybe something the size of the brick, maybe at Sherwood Forest, that the
That's fine.
Rotary does. Something that someone can read at night, even if it is lit up, it's still gonna might be a challenge, if you have something like that big,
One, when I draw it out to build it, we can, I'm thinking 12 feet tall, so that's gonna be a big gown. So I can actually draw to fit them in, see how many I can fit in, and then we can kind of go from there. But I didn't want to do all that if this wasn't the direction we didn't want to go in. So
well, it
kinda-
sounds like it's
I think-
kind of the direction we need to go in.
Yeah, I think that sounds like it's a good idea. You need a motion to approve that? I move we approve the design that Sean's talking about.
We have a motion by Councilmember Harmon and a second by Josh Woodard. Call the roll, please.
Charlie,
Aye.
Danny,
Yes.
Nita,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Marina.
Yes. All right, sounds like it's a
Real
winner.
quick, did y'all have to vote on the new displays, or did we get that? Okay.
That's already been done. We do need to, we did not have a quorum at last month's meeting. We did order the displays because we had to get under the gun. Diana was supposed to call everybody. Did she call everybody? That was, did Steve leave?
She's in the hallway.
Okay.
Can we get him?
It's okay. According to Steve, he said if we, Josh and Nita and I were okay with them, and she called everybody else, that would be okay. That was according to Steve, so I think we're good to go with the display. So we had to get them then, or else we wouldn't be eligible for the 38% discount, so. And we didn't have much money to work with from the donations from last year, so we needed the discount, so.
All
All
right,
right.
sweet.
Thank you very much. Hey, Sean, the only other thing is, if there are any salvageable, if those bigger angels that are left, maybe if you could put some of those around there, I don't know. I don't know if that would look good or not. You know what I'm saying?
We'll figure that out.
Okay, gotcha. You
All
can
right.
figure it, I'll trust you.
Oh, hey, what do y'all want to do for the plaques, as far as, like, the 4 people, that are interested in angels this year?
Yeah, probably should talk about the price for those plaques.
Well, I think he's gonna have to figure out what size he can make them and get a price on them, probably.
Okay.
I mean, what the size can.
Yeah, I can do some research on that, and bring it back
Right.
next month.
Yeah.
Just, I guess if they're calling, just tell them that we're not selling angels anymore because we are going in a different direction. Tell Diana that we are, she can tell them what we're doing, and the price is yet to be determined. If
Yeah,
that's what
and
if
I'll
they're,
find that out.
I'm sure
I'll
it'll
do
be
some
cheaper
research.
than an angel cost.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah.
because we can get a brick for $100.
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
The nameplates here are pretty visible from a good distance, as far as using that as maybe a metric. You know, as I look across,
Right.
I can read Charlie's name
Right.
clearly.
Yeah, those have been important to me because I forget the other council members' names all the time.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Blake Calloway. He's going to talk to us about the 2024 projects
Sure
update.
do. As you can see, if you used to park over here, those pickleball courts are moving in a good direction. We got about 2 weeks left on the concrete cure. The fence posts are up. We should have fences and more concrete work for the sidewalk being done starting Monday. And then they'll come back once the concrete is ready for resurfacing and get that started. We are looking, to be honest, about 4 to 6 weeks out to where we're opening them up. Sean was measuring things on lights. We're putting in the lights as opposed to having the company come in this time because we have the posts available. So, but we are in a really, really good spot wrapping that up within about a month, hopefully, and being able to open that up to the public. So. We're really excited about that, and I'm excited about the timing of that, because it's
And
gonna.
that's going to be there are going to have to be 2 courts there, right?
Correct, there's gonna be 2 courts
Two
there, the
courts.
lights will essentially, they'll be available to play all night, 24/7, so, bathroom over there is open 24/7, so we're gonna be in a good spot over there, I'm excited about it, so. The update on the soccer restroom is, Sean pulled permits today. We think we've got everybody lined out. We've got our PO signed for plumbing, concrete work, block work, and our electrician. So we should probably get that started, breaking ground on that within about a week and a half. So timeframe on that is hopefully we've learned a lot from the last 2 that we did, which were successful. I think we can move a little bit quicker and be a little more efficient on how we do things. So, we're hopeful for about three months out on those being, from start to finish, but we'll see how those go. The baseball, we talked about that will be an after-the-season deal, and their season starts April 19th, so we're several months out on the paving of the baseball side, and there's not much to report on the tunnel of lights. Still designing, so,
And that opening is April 19th.
April 19th.
April
Yes.
19th is opening ceremonies. Okay.
And they're talking about, and I've been in contact with the Silver Mills Athletic Club, and which affects y'all, they're looking at having food trucks come out. And we said they had to, be in good standing with A&P, taxes being paid, and have their business license, so they're gonna check those boxes before they have them come out to their event. So, that's what they wanna do. I think it's a pretty good idea to get them out there. They run a concession stand, but this provides other options for people who go and watch games out there too, so, that's
Are those soccer fields being used now?
the big ones, they're using them for their older groups.
We're going to talk about that under old
Okay,
business
okay.
here. We'll be talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
As far as the new projects for this year, that's where we are.
Tunnel lights,
Still designing, he says.
still designing.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, we'll pass on the updated history books. We're on old business now.
Okay.
Updated history book, pass on that for right now. 2023 projects. Do you or Sean want to talk about this?
We both can, I can.
Okay, the Greens parking lot update. If y'all would turn to the very back of your packet, you have a page, and this is on all the projects that we did for the major projects, the pricing of the major projects, okay? So, just to say, for soccer, we used all of our money up, and we want to go ahead and give us a soccer update.
We were out there today, and if you remember, we told you that we fixed some drainage issues out there in-house. And in-house last year, we also, the ballpark staff, ran some irrigation to the center in between the two fields where there was no grass growing. It was very hard, muddy, and things of that nature. So it is greening up. We anticipate adding that to some of the areas out there that we fertilize and get that to where it looks good. The fields themselves look really good. The center section, which we were having a lot of problem with the runoff and the almost erosion type situations, we feel like we're at a good spot with that. The hillsides. The hillsides are rough, where they're supposed to, topsoil seed and do those things. It still, to me, appears as if it was sand rather than topsoil. If you go out there, the hillsides, separating the two parking areas. I mean, it's what is green there, which, almost from afar looks good, it's weeds. There's not a lot of grass growing there. But the base that is there is, it looks like like sand was used as opposed to topsoil, like we've mentioned before. The real fix on that would be running irrigation, potentially having Mandel add that to the list of things that we need to, fertilize, and we need to lay sod on that. And it's going to be a pretty expensive project if we want to go that route. We're going to continue to do what we can out there with what we have, but it leaves a lot to be desired when you go out there and look, and especially with the runoff of the sand coming into the parking area. So, but we feel good about where we are with in-house fixes for the center of the fields. And to answer the question, those fields are being used by the older teams, which there are not very many. So I don't know that we knew that when the planning phase goes, but we're looking into attempting to find a better way to use those fields. Because they do look great. We've spent a lot of time, Mandel and his crew and Austin both, all the crews have spent a lot of time getting where they are to where they're playable. I'd like to see them used, so more than they are. So we're going to have to figure out a way to navigate that. So that's an update on the fields. Because I think the project itself was fully funded to the 480 and it was spent. So
It was. So they're not being used to their capabilities then. It's a shame.
No, and that's, we asked, because we were potentially looking at utilizing those fields potentially in the off-season as a flag football field, bringing flag football to Sherwood. It's very popular in Cabot. It presents an opportunity for kids to play football that is less impactful, throwing a tackle them out and adding that. We still may do that, but they did say they wanted the fields and they were going to need the fields, so they are intended for soccer, so we kind of backed off of that in the planning of that. So, but we may need to re-strategize what we're going to do with those fields, or ask them to move some more ages over to utilize those fields, because those, I mean, they're there, they're ready to go. We've put a lot into them, and y'all as, you know, as a committee as well, so.
Thank you on that. Now, Trail of Lights building extension, you've
They've read that
done, you still have 1,886, 1,008,
Waiting on North Little Rock Electric to set a pole, and then
okay,
we'll be
so you
able to
still
do it.
have
Yeah.
$1,886.06 left, okay.
And yeah, what we have left is going to be covered by that. We're good with that, so.
Okay, so that we know. Now, the big thing comes to Trail of Light, or excuse me, Green's parking lot. Now, what we need, guys, is there was $70,233.03 left in the budget last year for this. So what happens with that is that gets thrown back into our general fund, A&P's general fund, and so that goes back into our reserves. And so, I don't know if everybody kept this sheet or not. Did y'all keep your sheet? I told you to keep. Yeah, okay. So you can see what we have left in our general fund, okay? That amount, that 70,000 is in this amount right here. Now, HIDCO is coming to us with two bills, and these are the two bills down here. One's for $32,383.65, and one's for $10,733.80. If you'll see those two down here on this major projects list, right here, that are under that 70,000. Those are two bills from last year that were not paid. And those have to be approved by us, because that's going to have to come out of our reserves. And those are legitimate bills.
Yeah, those are the last two pay apps. Remember us telling you we're not paying the final amounts until the punch list was done. Punch list is done to our approval. We're ready to sign off, say the job's done, and now they're ready to collect their final amounts. So these are planned payments that we didn't pay last year as a result of the job not being completed, so.
So when these two items are paid, is everything done over there?
That job is complete, and then we will have done it and navigated a bunch of change orders and other things and come in under 27,000 of the 600,000 that was allocated for it.
So is everything done that needed to be done?
HIDCO and that group will be done, and we are done with that.
Right,
Parking lot complete.
HIDCO's done, but is everything else done over there?
That was supposed to be done within this job, yes.
Okay, so we can mark this off the list?
The parking lot project, mark off.
Okay, everything's done, okay. So what I would need, well, first, if there are any questions, that'll be the first thing. And second thing I would need is a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve draw 6 and draw 7 to HIDCO Construction, that was payable last year but not approved until this year out of our reserves due to adequate completion of the project.
Okay, we have a motion by Josh, second by Danny, that we take this money out of our reserves to pay draw 6 and 7 to HIDCO.
Yeah, and we asked them to change the dates on the pay app, so there was some from last year since the jobs weren't done and they were completed this year. That's the difference in the date change on those, because we're gonna pay them this year. So we're not gonna go back to last year pay with funds, so that's the reason if there's concerns on that, so.
All right. So we have,
That project is complete.
all right, so I will take this off our list, and we'll just have 2 items for last year left on the list. Okay, you want to call the roll, please?
Charlie,
Aye.
Danny,
Yes.
Nita,
Yes.
Jeff,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Marina.
Aye. All right, very good. Okay, under new business, our first item will be the quarterly update by our Economic Development Director. I've asked our Economic Development Director, Josh, to give us a quarterly update on what's going on with him in the realm of advertising and promotion world. So he's here to give us that right now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to start with the trip report for Dallas because you guys did fund that trip, so I think it's important that you know how that money was spent. The purpose, of course, of going to ICSC in Dallas is to actively be able to recruit restaurants and retailers that are actually looking in our region. So this is the Red River region, and so all the developers that I meet there are actually people that build in Arkansas. So the convention was held at the K. Bailey Hutchinson Center from January 31st until February 2nd. My expenses for the trip came out to $1,703.66 of the $2,900 that was budgeted. Came in $1,196.34 under budget. The key retailers that I was able to meet there was Bridgestone Retail. It is what you think it is. It's a tire shop, but they are actively looking to expand into our area. Burlington Stores, some reps from CBRE, specifically, they represent Aldi. Chipotle, Colliers, and Colliers represents many groups that are actively looking to buy property and expand. Crexy, Driven Brands, Focus Brands, Golden Chick, Hibbett Sports / City Gear, HTO, Inspire Brands, Jersey Mike's, Kids Empire, Launch Entertainment, LT Commercial Group, Pac Mail, Panda Express, Potbelly Sandwich Shop, Seven Brew, Sports Clips, Slick City Action Park, Tim Horton Brands, the UPS Store, Whataburger, and the Woodmont Company. Those were all the people that I actively had meetings with when I was there. We are a very viable market as far as our median income and things, but our growth area is out in the north of the city, which you guys live here, so you all know that. And we still need that anchor out in the north area of the city because that was the number one thing everyone kept coming back to me when I would show them my sites available. They said, well, where's our anchor? What's drawing crowd into that area during the daytime? And so that's why the Wet Dry Initiative going through is going to be huge because hopefully it'll help us score that anchor that we need out there, which is a grocery store. I often get calls, pretty much get calls every week. People want to know why we can't get something. Well, the truth is, if it's in North Little Rock, we probably won't get it in South Sherwood because it's too close. It's retail cannibalization. They're not going to put another restaurant where they'll steal from their own customer base. Also, a lot of these larger brands, they have requirements for their sites. They want to be on major interstate traffic. Well, where do we have in Sherwood where there's on the front of 167, where we could actually put a restaurant that's not going to be or that's something that's not already in North Little Rock or already in Jacksonville, hence the cannibalization. So our real retail restaurant growth really needs to be focused in the northern portion of the city, in the Brockington corridor, the Four Corners area. That's where we're going to see our growth because we escaped the cannibalization out there. So some of the companies that are interested out in that area, Jersey Mike's was one that I spoke with. They love the proximity in North Sherwood, formerly Gravel Ridge, of being close to the air base because they can get delivery onto the base from there, and specifically the base housing and the flight line area from there. Similar to why Papa John's looked at that area so favorably when they moved in because of the access to the air base. So we do have some targets that are moving actively under some NDAs. So I'm limited in what I can discuss on that anchor out in North Sherwood. Hopefully we get something moving on that very soon. Otherwise, we are actively recruiting in restaurants daily. Existing construction is where they want to be right now, something that they can get into that they can make it cash flow after paying high rent. New construction right now, the rent has to be so high to make that work. So I cannot get someone to want to move into a new construction building when there's a glut of other construction around central Arkansas. And as much as we don't like it, they do look at us as a region. So when they look at us as Maumelle, North Little Rock, Little Rock, Sherwood, Jacksonville, and kind of when they're developing their plans. And when they're trying to site select, they, oh, well, there's existing construction in North Little Rock, and it already has a grease trap. So those are some issues that we run into specifically for this crowd wanting to attract restaurants. If we had existing construction with grease traps in place, we would have more restaurants. But unfortunately, there's not existing construction in Sherwood with grease traps. And I'll take any questions that you guys have at this time on the why. You can pretty much ask me of any retail target, restaurant target around here, and I can tell you where I'm at in talks with them or why we are not a good fit. Anyone have anything? All
I
right.
think you explained it very well, Josh.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh. All right, this time our mayor would like to make a presentation. That's not on our agenda, but she asked if she could speak today, so said, of course. And with her, we have our two parks gurus.
So, Councilmember Harmon had brought up at Parks and Rec the fact that we do not have any playground equipment for kids with disabilities. It's always been talked about, but it's just never happened. And 18 years. And that's something that's especially near and dear to his heart because he has a disabled daughter. And everyone on Parks and Rec agreed, so he brought it up to City Council, and they expressed that they all thought that this was something that they were interested in as well. Well, you don't have to ask twice if you want us to get more playground equipment. We were on it the next morning. So we got out what's considered to be the premier playground builder for these type of playgrounds in Central Arkansas. This company did the design, it did the Two Rivers Park, MacArthur Park, two examples of that. And where we are looking at and where we had discussed is right over beside the Thornhill Pool. For several reasons, it's well lit, it's very secure, it already has lots of parking. A lot of our parks don't have good parking, and this does. And people can come and do a multitude of things there. So we already have handicap accessible bathrooms already built and in place with the bottle filler. We have the pool right there, so you could do playground, you could do pool, you could go fishing. We've got an ADA accessible path, around the pond. So, I mean, there's a lot of things to do there to make that a draw, and that would just be another great addition to what we are trying to develop here, which is our community gathering place, our square, so to speak, our city square, because we don't really have a traditional downtown or those type of things in Sherwood. So we had already planned on putting some swing sets and two rocking horses. So we added to that a inclusive whirl, I call it one of those little merry-go-rounds, an extensive playground set where there's a little rocking apparatus that kids in wheelchair can get on. There's a rolling slide, so kids of all abilities. This is something that would be attractive to kids with disabilities and kids without disabilities, which is exactly what you want. You want those two populations interacting and being there together, and it enriches both of their lives. The cost of this came out to be $314,000. Is that correct? It does have the pour and play, which we discussed at Parks and Rec and also at City Council. Pour and play is the state-of-the-art ground covering. So it's maintenance-free, it's concrete, rubber, and then asphalt. Not asphalt, excuse me, AstroTurf. So you get the watersheds off of it. It makes it easy for everybody.
What is that?
Wheelchair friendly.
Okay.
It's very
You can
wheelchair
roll
friendly.
wheelchairs over it.
Because officially, they say that the bark is ADA compliant, but the reality is it's not. It's absolutely not. So we're coming before you to see if this is something that you all would be interested in funding for this year. It would have to come out of the reserves. If you approved it today, we feel that we can have this built and ribbon cutting by the end of October.
So, of course, we know that we cannot approve this out of our budget, because our budget's already been approved. So this is another thing that would have to come out of our reserve. So before we do anything there, does anyone have any questions of the mayor or of Councilmember Harmon, because he is the chairman of the Parks and Rec Committee, and this is something that the Parks and Rec Committee has been talking about. So does anyone have a question for the mayor or Councilmember Harmon? Or Sean or Blake?
My question, y'all said y'all brought it before the council, as in asking them to, or just bringing it up in general and then asking us to fund it? Or is it something we
No,
could do as
so-
a combo deal, maybe, between the two?
So Councilmember Harmon brought this up to the council because it was not budgeted for, not an A&P or out of the city's, general fund either. But it's something that we felt that, certainly the council members felt that would be impactful, something that, we have several council members that are not going to be going for reelection and that have served for a long time, and this would be something meaningful to kind of leave behind as a legacy.
And it came up in my report from that park. It's basically how it came up at the meeting, was in my report from the parks meeting, because I make a long report from the parks meeting as to what we discussed and everything. And since I brought it up at the parks meeting, it naturally came up in the discussion at the council meeting. And it was met favorably by the members of the council at that meeting then, so.
There was no ask for money
Right.
there was no ask for money.
No ask for money at the council.
Yeah, and we really didn't know what would be doable or not doable at that time. We had no idea in terms of cost. It was more, is this something you want us to pursue? And they did for the city. Certainly, this is something we've had lots of people in the community have been asking for quite some time.
So does the city have any money to put towards this, or are you asking for A&P to fund the whole project, I guess is your question, Jeff?
Yeah, exactly. Because I know we're a little strapped too right now, and you said that our funds are a little
Well, I mean,
know it's not in this fund here,
we got funds in our
reserved.
reserves, but we're not meeting our goals this year.
Right,
Right now, we are 10,000 down a month. I just actually was adding that up while we were talking. We're $10,000 down for the first 3 months of our goals, so we're
Yeah, I
not.
know you was counting on Zaxby's probably being already open.
Well,
but
yeah, I was hoping
that's a
that,
little down.
and then there's a couple things, but I don't know what's going on, but we're down $10,000 a month right now. But we do have the money in the reserves, but, so don't let this sway you one way or the other, but.
I like the idea.
But is the city wanting to partner with us? Are you asking the A&P to fund the whole project is the question?
I wanted to bring it to you all first, to see if this is something that you all would want to fund. If this is not, then, our next option is to, go to the council. There's always an option to, split it. Either way, it's either going to come out of reserves of A&P or it's going to come out of the reserves, of the city. So.
And if A&P feels like that they can do, 200,000 of the 314,000, then that means that we have to come up with less out of either the parks budget or out of reserves or whatever.
Yeah, we do not have it out of the parks budget, so that would mean that we'd have to take away from, like what we're gonna do at the baseball complex or something like that, so.
On this asset sheet that we got, is the A&P Commission checking, is that what is our reserve fund? What is our balance?
Total fund balance down there.
It's
1.6?
1.6 is our reserve?
It is.
Okay.
As a commission, do we have any major projects that we're seeing in the next 12 to 24 months that would be funding or being asked to fund?
Not that I'm aware of.
But it's only April.
Not that I'm aware of.
That's a great idea.
I have not submitted my wish list for next year.
But that's next year.
This would be on the list.
Is this something we need to table, or can we make a motion on it?
I mean, it's up to, that's why I'm letting you
I would say,
discuss
I'm gonna
this.
make a motion that we grant the $314,000 towards the playground, being that we have the reserves to cover it.
Second.
Okay, we do have a motion by Jeff Harold and a second by Josh Woodard that we take the 314,000 out.
Jeff,
Yes.
Josh,
Yes.
Marina.
Aye.
Thank y'all so much.
That's awesome. Appreciate it.
We
Thank
will
you very,
expect
very
a
much.
nice big plaque that this was funded by the we'll expect a nice big plaque this was funded by the A&P Commission.
Well, thank you very much, guys.
That's what that money's there for.
Bigger than any of the other plaques we've ever had.
I want to thank you guys, too.
No, I think this is probably, of all the things that we've funded, I think this is probably one of the most worthwhile ones we have ever funded, so, okay. Under announcements, Lauren did touch on the eclipse. The ball fields will be open. The concession stands are going to be open. Are there going to be food trucks? 11 to 4, the ball fields will be open. There'll be food trucks, no food trucks, okay.
Concession stand, but it's fully stocked, big menu, great prices.
Foods, okay.
To have lunch.
There'll be, the concession stands will be open with a great lunch menu. There will be eclipse glasses. I do have some here today if anyone needs some. So, all right, so we do have, and we will have plenty of eclipse glasses up there. So yes, Lauren?
And I will say that we had 150 eclipse glasses at the Easter egg hunt, and people took it as well, so. 100? We took 100. 100, yes.
So they're going fast, so if anyone needs eclipse glasses, please contact the city. We do have them, but they are going fast. Also, on April 20th, I'm putting a plug for Keep Sherwood Beautiful. We do have a shred-a-thon on April 20th from 9 to noon in the senior citizen parking lot. So if you have anything you want to shred, we do that for free as a service to our community. So I'm a member, and so is Jamie. So if you'd like to come bring your stuff to shred, we would appreciate it. Donations are greatly appreciated.
Where's that at?
Senior citizen parking lot. Yes, sir?
I did forget to mention in my briefing that Zaxby's is actively hiring, and hopefully will be back open in the next 2 weeks. That's what they're shooting for.
All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Is there anything else that anyone has to say?
Marina, I would add to the Eclipse Day that a lot of local restaurants may be doing promotions to check social media, where we're keeping the funds here in Sherwood. They may be running specials starting this weekend for the Eclipse, all the new people coming into town.
Tag the city, I'll repost it.
All right. So just check social media, fuel your car, keep your phones charged, all that stuff. Anyone else have anything? All right. We're adjourned.